Both visiting food distribution centers today in Gaza at the center of really a worldwide debate over allegations of starvation and genocide. Ambassador Mike Huckabee shared a few images from the trip, including this one showing a mass of Palestinians standing behind barbed wire and facing a soldier. The trip comes as the Palestinian Health Ministry says more than 150 people in Gaza have now died from malnutrition since the start of the war. And we need to warn you, the images you're seeing here and you're going to see are very disturbing, but they are important for the world to see. Medical staff on the ground, including some Americans, are doing everything they can with whatever resources they have to try to save people, including the most vulnerable children. NBC's Matt Bradley has more on their efforts to save some of the youngest victims of hunger.
At Gaza's Nasser hospital, doctors are struggling to keep 4-month-old Zainab alive. She's one of several starving and malnourished children our reporting team in Gaza have followed in recent months.
First, as a mother, it breaks your heart. But also as a human, we cannot bear to see something like that.
The few American doctors here are doing what they can to help Palestinian medical staff. A photo above Zainab's cot reads, "Zainab the Queen." She suffers from a condition that means she needs special baby formula. Foreign doctors saying any formula they bring with them is confiscated by Israeli authorities, part of a wider 5-month blockade of the Strip. Images of skeletal Palestinian children like Zainab sparking outrage around the world, but Israel is casting doubt on claims of famine.
There is no policy of starvation in Gaza. There is no starvation in Gaza.
The Israeli prime minister is saying it's a food distribution problem, but it all comes as even one of Israel's closest allies, the president of the U.S., says there's real starvation in Gaza. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and Ambassador Mike Huckabee making a rare visit to Gaza to see aid distribution sites and assess the conditions, although they didn't visit what remains of Gaza's hospitals. Doctors here say evidence of starvation is obvious and everywhere.
Come inside and take a look for yourself. Don't believe what other people are saying. Take a look with your own eyes.
All food is scarce. 12-year-old Huda says her condition means she can only drink milk. Now thin and her hair falling out, she stares at photos of herself taken before war robbed her of her childhood. I used to play, run, do everything, she says, but now I don't play or run. I just lie in bed at the hospital. Mothers lacking nutrition are struggling to breastfeed their children.
This is one of the extreme examples of malnutrition. When we asked the mother why you didn't give her breastfeeding, she told us that she wasn't starved. She's just only the skin over the bone.
Trying to get food in Gaza can be deadly. The UN says more than 1,000 Palestinians have been killed trying to access the limited supplies Israel's allowed into Gaza, distributed by an Israeli and American-backed private aid group. American doctor Eli Dallas Burgos says this boy was shot in the head while seeking food. He's unlikely to heal while malnourished, he says.
So if you survive the trauma, you may then die from starvation afterwards. And so that's been really difficult. The starvation is en masse. This is not just 1 or 2 people. This is the entire population.
While foreign medics rotate into Gaza every few months, Palestinian doctors and nurses stuck in Gaza struggle to care for the sick while feeding themselves and their families.
They are doing the best they can. It's been really difficult to watch that I come to work every day and they're trying to do their best. And they are exhausted.
There's some soup kitchens and a little bread, but there's not enough to go around. Gaza's aid workers and medics often go without.
How are your colleagues reacting to their circumstances?
What stuns me every day is the fact that they continue to show up to work. We are able to offer a very simple portion of rice to our colleagues who come to work. I know very many of my colleagues will not eat that portion of rice because they're feeding it to their hungry children.
Outside Nasser Hospital Tuesday, prayers are held for yet more Palestinians shot dead while trying to get aid. The hunger. His children are hungry, this mourner screams. The number of Palestinians killed in Israel's offensive hit a grim milestone this week, 60,000 since the conflict began when Hamas attacked on October 7, 2023, according to Gaza's health ministry, which also says at least 150 Palestinians have died from malnutrition, including 88 children. Tragically, Zainab was one of them. Dying of starvation just last week, her mother Sokana lying her queen, a tiny bundle, on the dirt outside the hospital where she died, for final prayers. Sokana telling NBC News, "My daughter has died, but please look at the others. Open the borders. What more are you waiting for?"
Matt Bradley is joining us now from the region. First of all, Matt, we should point out we have an NBC team that's in Gaza living through this themselves, and they shot that. It's almost impossible to wrap your head around the suffering and the devastation there, right? Is it likely that this U.S. visit to Gaza, as they see this firsthand, is it going to help at all in terms of trying to make any changes? And is Israel feeling the international condemnation?
Yeah, Tom, and I want to mention that team. You know, every time you see these images, the starvation, the bombardments, every single thing, there's no special dispensation for journalists who are working with foreign news crews. They endure all of that, and they have endured all of that for 22 months while delivering us these impossible to watch images. You were asking about whether or not this visit is going to change anything. I don't know, but we do know that the Trump administration, and I think we can maybe believe them, that they are weighing further involvement in aid distribution in the Gaza Strip. That is the mission we're seeing from Steve Witkoff and Mike Huckabee. That's really their brief, to go back and report to the president on what to do for American involvement. And the question now is how and how much the U.S. will put skin in the game based on their reports.
Matt Bradley, important reporting. Thanks, buddy.